ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रयेभीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त फलं वक्ष्ये यथामति। In the third chapter, which we are seeing, various misconceptions about Atma are talked about. Putra, Sthula Sharira, Indriya, Prana, Mana, Buddhi, and Ajnanam, and Jada, the Ajnanopahitam Chaitanyam, and Shunya. 9 superimpositions are there. Means Atma is mistaken in 9 different ways. 9 are the sample here. People may have some permutation combination. Something more can be there. So somebody will say, I am just energy, I am a particle, something like that. We can have any number of superimposition. So, and gross superimposition was, I am a monkey, I am a cockroach, all these also can be there. So he is not a putra only. Some people have that, I am an animal, I am this cockroach. So possible. But that are abnormal cases. Here the normal cases are talked about. Alright. And all these philosophers having these views, they quoted Shruti, they gave Yukti, and they gave Anubhava. Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava were presented by each one of them. Even Charvaka presented. Even though they don't believe, still they presented. And now we are seeing that how their views are wrong. What they are considering to be Atma, Putradi, are not really Atma, they are Anatma. And for that, we saw yesterday, Etehi Ati Prakrutadivadibihi Ukteshu Shruti Yuktanubhava Bhaseshu Purva Purvokta Shruti Yuktanubhava Bhasanam Uttara Shruti Yuktanubhava Bhasehi Atmatva Bhada Darshanat Putradinam Anatmatvam Spashtabeva. So he says, when the Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa, Abhasa means resemblance. They are not Shruti in the sense they are quoting. In that sense, Shruti Abhasa. Yesterday we saw. So Shruti Abhasa, Yukti Abhasa, and Anubhava Abhasa. Anubhava Abhasa means what? The reciting or presenting the Anubhava to establish a fact which it really does not establish. Then it is called Anubhava Bhasa. Fallacious recitation or fallacious citation, not recitation, fallacious citation of Anubhava to establish the idea which it really does not establish. That is called what? Anubhava Bhasa. Like somebody says, the sun is rising. Why? Because I am seeing. Every day, morning I see sun rises. So, Sarvajananam Suryodaya Anubhavat Suryaha Udeti. So this is what everybody has got experience. I have got experience that sun is rising, and therefore sun must be rising. So that anubhava is what anubhava bhasaha. So Puja Swamiji used to say very nicely, he says that we do not have problem of having anubhava of Atma. Our problem is that we have not understood the anubhava we have. Vedanta is not focusing on anubhava. Vedanta is focusing on the analysis of anubhava and deriving right understanding. Our problem is that whatever anubhava we have, based on that we have wrong conclusions. So anubhava we have of Atma also and Anatma also. Anubhava of Atma means Atma being self-evident. That is figuratively called anubhava. So Atma anubhava is there, Anatma anubhava is there. But based on those anubhavas, the conclusions we have are wrong. So Vedanta is not meant for creating new experience of Atma. Vedanta is meant for analyzing the experiences and showing the truth that Atma is present in all experiences as self-evident self. And so, what Anubhava quoted by them to establish a respective view that I am a Karta or I am Sharira, I am a Indriyani, all of them were Anubhava Bhasa. So when they are quoted, then Purva Purvokta, we take Visheshu, Anubhava Bhaseshu Visheshu, Atmatva, Anatmatvam Svashtabheva, or Anubhava Bhaseshu Ukteshu Satsu. When they are told, then Purva Purva Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa Nam Uttara Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasahi Atmatva Bhada Darshanat. By the later Shruti Yukti and Anubhava, the previous Shruti Yukti and Anubhava are negated. Therefore what? Atmatva Bhada. By Anubhava Bhasahi, what is done? The later Anubhava, Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasahi, Atmatva Bhada Darshanat. By the later Shruti Yukti Anubhava, the Atmatvam of the things which were presented by the previous Shruti Yukti Anubhava is negated. So it's Atmatva Bhada Darshanat. So whatever was presented by the earlier Shruti Yukti Anubhava is dismissed by the later Shruti Yukti Anubhava. And therefore what? Atmatva Bhada Darshanat. So Shruti Yukti Anubhava presented some view. Like Atmana Jayate Putra, that Shruti presented some view that Putra is Atma. It was dismissed by this the Sava Esha Purushonnara Sabhaya Shruti. That also is Shruti Abhasa, but it did the job of dismissing the previous one. Alright. So Atmatva Bhada Darshanat Putradinam Anatmatvam Spashtameva. The Anatma status of Putradi is clear. Because Atmatva status of Putradi is dismissed by the later Shruti Yukti Anubhava. Alright. Then, how this Putradi or Anatma is further emphasized? Because in the 133rd paragraph, it was presented based on the mutual fight. In Mandukya Karika, this idea is given. Parasparam virudhyante, tehi ayam na virudhyate. They fight among themselves. In Mandukya Karika, his Acharya, Gaudapada Acharya, gives views, and each one, the previous one will be dismissed by the later one. He does not present it that manner, but Tikakara explains. So this view is dismissing the previous one. But still we may not have so much satisfaction with that. Because we are trying to dismiss something based on the fight of some people. And who are those people? All of them are wrong. So by the fight of the wrong people, you are trying to derive what? Anatmatvam of Putradi. So we may not have so much satisfaction about it. That even though the Atmatvam of this Putradi was dismissed by others, But those who have dismissed, they themselves are wrong. And therefore, we may have some sense of doubt, that right person should dismiss. The wrong people have dismissed. For that, one answer is that even though wrong people have dismissed, but we would have used similar arguments which they used. Some of the arguments they are using, we also can use. And therefore, even though wrong people have dismissed, it is alright. It is something like we enemies are destroyed by my enemies. So I have no problem with that. One enemy is destroyed by other enemy. So Ishtapatti only. So the result which came is alright. So we don't reject that result. It is alright. So here still people may have dissatisfaction, and therefore second argument is given. We saw yesterday, Kincha, moreover, Pratyak, Asthula, Achakshu, Aprana, Amana, Akarta, Chaitanyam, Chidmatram, Sat, Ityadi, Prabala Shruti Virodhat. Because of the contradiction with more powerful Shruti, which says Atma is Pratyak, Asthula, etc. And therefore what? Putradi Shunya Paryantam Akhila Manatma Eva. So this Pratyak Shruti says that Atma cannot be Putra. Asthula Shruti says that Atma cannot be Sthula Sharira. Achakshu Shruti says that Atma cannot be Indriya. Aprana Shruti says Atma cannot be Prana. Amana says it cannot be Manaha. Akarta says it is not Buddhi. Chaitanyam says it cannot be Ajnana. And Chinmatram says it cannot be Jada Jadatmaka. Sat says that it is not Shuddhya. Prabala Shruti. So whatever Shruti they had quoted, they also had quoted Shruti. But their Shruti, content of their Shruti is dismissed by what? Prabala Shruti Virodha. Prabala Shruti. So more powerful Shruti is dismissing the less powerful Shruti. Acha. Now more powerful and less powerful, how do we know? Is it that one Shruti, if we read, it will be heavy sound or something? Or some more words are there? And some Shruti has got like 2-3 words, this has got 5 words. Therefore, Prabala Shruti. Usko one push he will give and he will fall off. Big Shruti will come and so it is not like that. So here Tikakara explains that the Shruti which were quoted by Purva Pakshi, they were not having the Tatparyam in it. So Tatparya Rahita Shruti is called Nirbala Shruti. And Tatparya Sahita Shruti is called Prabala Shruti. The Shruti which has got Tatparyam in its own words, what it is conveying, it means it. So that Shruti will be what? Prabala. It is something like in Vyavahara. Devadatta, what he says he does not mean. And Yagdadatta, what he says he means. So whose words will carry more weight? Yagdadatta only. Isn't it? The one who says something but doesn't mean. He said, I will come, but he will not come. Whereas other person says, I will come, he will come. Otherwise he says, I will not come. So whose words will have more weightage? You have invited 2 people. And Devadatta and Yagdadatta. Then where you will have trust that who will come? Yagdadatta only. So even Shruti also is like that. If Shruti is using certain words but it does not have Swarthe Tatparyam, or it is only Upaya Bhuta, not having the final Tatparyam in what it is saying, then that Shruti will be Nirbala Shruti. And Shruti which has got the Tatparyam in saying what it is saying, it is Prabala Shruti. So Tatparya Rahita Shruti, Nirbala Shruti, Tatparya Sahita or Tatparyavati Shruti is Prabala Shruti. And how is Tatparya decided? Upakrama Upasamharo, Abhyaso Purvata Phalam, Arthavadopapatti cha, Lingam Tatparya Nirnaya. So today I will not ask. So these are the Tatparya Lingas. So by the Lingas, Tatparya is decided, and when we see that what Shruti says, it means it. then it is Prabala Shruti. Now other Shruti is Nirbala. Why? Because it doesn't have Tatparya. And in fact Tikakara explains this Atmana Vai Jayate Putraha, that Shruti is Gaunartha Shruti. Why? Because I and my son are different. It is Pratyaksha Siddha. Even one who says I and my son are one, he also knows that really we are different, but since our affection for each other is so much, therefore we are saying this. Therefore what? It is Gaunartha Shruti. We have seen Gauna Prayoga. Bheda Gnana Sahita Shabda Prayoga or Vrittihi. That will be called what? Gauna Prayoga. What is the example they give? Simhoyam Manavakaha. This boy is Simha, lion. So you know the difference between lion and this boy. But still you say that this boy is lion. Then that prayoga is called what? Gauna Prayoga. Gauna Prayoga means what? Figurative usage. So here Atmana Jayate Atma Vai Jayate Putraha. Atmana nahi. Atma Vai Jayate Putraha is what? Gauna Shruti. Gaunartha Shruti. Therefore what? Nirbala. Figurative usage and the Mukhya, primary usage, in them primary is more valuable. Somebody simply says, I will give $1 billion. Do you feel happy? Okay, happy. And one person says, tomorrow I will give you 10 rupees. So whose sentence is more powerful? One who says, I have given you 10 rupees and he means it. And he gives also. So his statement is more powerful. Naturally, figurative and primary is more important. And therefore what? The putrasya atmatva pratipadika shruti is what? Gaunartha. And therefore what? Nirbala. Whereas atma is pratyak, innermost. It is what? Mukhyartha. And therefore what? Prabala. Is it clear? So, putradinam atmatvam badhitam. What about Sharira, Prana, the Purushonnarasamaya, then Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. For all of them, one common thing is that all of them are used as stepping stone for arriving at Pucham Brahma. If you remember Taittiriya, the Pucham Brahma Pucham Pratishtha, Anandamayasya Pucchatvena Brahmana Pratipadanam. So to arrive at Brahman, which is the Adhishthanam of even Anandamaya, all these 5 koshas are presented. Therefore they do not have Tatparyam in themselves. They are just presented as stepping stones. And stepping stones cannot be the destination. Cannot have the main Tatparyam. Cannot be the main Tatparyam. And therefore what? These all 5 Shrutis which are quoted, being Upaya Bhuta, they cannot have the Tatparyam in their own meaning. And therefore what? They are Nirbala. Is it clear? Okay. And one Shruti was quoted that Indriya, this Pranaha, Prajapatim Pitaram Etya Uchuhu. That is not about Panchaprana. Panchaprana, the Pranamaya, Panchakosha Viveka, it doesn't come. That Shruti also is what? Arthavada Rupa. To glorify the Mukhya Prana, this story is given. And therefore it is Arthavada. And Arthavada does not have Tatparyam in itself. Therefore Arthavadattvena, this Indriyasya Atmatva Pratipadika Shruti is Nirbala. Whereas Atma is Achakshuhu. Shruti means it. And therefore what? achakshu shruti is prabala. Is it clear? And thus prabala shruti virodhat. See, we simply said more powerful, but more powerful, how more powerful? We need to understand that. In Shastra, when they use the word, sometimes it has got this type of Shastriya vichara involved, technical analysis involved. So, prabala shruti virodhat asya putradi shunya paryantasya. Now, yukti is given. Asya putradi shunya paryantasya jadasya chaitanya bhasyatvena ghatadivat anityatvat. So he says, putradi shunya, starting with putra up to shunya, all of them are what? Jada. Jada means inert. They are not swaprakasha. Jadatvam kim? Aswaprakashatvam jadatvam. Not being self-effulgent. And therefore what? Chaitanya bhasya. That which is revealable through consciousness. And therefore what? Anityam, ghatadivat anityam. It is impermanent like pot. So here anumanam is suggested. What is the anumanam? Putradi shunya paryantam sarvam na nityam. Why? Jadatvat ghatadivat. That is the final anumanam. Putradi shunya paryantam sarvam na nityam jadatvat ghatadivat. So starting with putra up to the shunya is not nitya. Why? Because it is jada, is inert, because like what? Ghatadi. And here shunyam, we will have a little bit problem. Then how shunyam we can say it is jada? Because something to be known as shunyam means void, it should be illumined by someone. And therefore it is jadam, it is not swaprakasha. To know that nothing is there in the room, some chetana should be there. Shunyam itself will not be evident. Oh, I am shunyam. It pops up by itself. It doesn't happen. The way I am self-evident, shunyam is not self-evident. Therefore it is aprakasha. Otherwise we say, how about shunya? So shunyasya api jadatvat. So putradi shunya paryantam na nityam jadatvat ghatadivat. Now, how can you say that it is jada? Because na swayam prakashate. All of them are not illumined by itself. Therefore it is jada. And therefore what? Drishyam. And therefore anityam. We can say jadatvat drishyatvam and drishyatvat anityatvam. That also we can say. Jadatvat drishyatvam drishyatvat anityatvam. So sunyadi putradi shunya paryantam drishyam by jadatvat. And then we can give another hetu that putradi shunya paryantam is anityam drishyatvat. That way two parts also we can make. But directly we can say putradi shunya paryantam na nityam jadatvat ghatadivat. So in one anumana itself we can include both the ideas. Anyways, final meaning is putradi, starting with putra up to the shunya, all of them are anitya because it is jada, inert. And inert being inert is drishyam. Yad drishyam tad anityam. That is the siddhanta. Okay. Now, and therefore what? It is anatma. Because atma is nityaha. If atma is not nitya, immediate problem is akruta abhyagama kruta pranasha will come. And therefore, immediately speaking, main pramanam is Shruti. The Shruti presents Atma as na jayate mriyate va kadachit nitya sarvagata sthanuh. So Shruti presents Atma as Nitya. Whereas Anatma is established to be Anitya. And therefore what? Again we have to connect with what? Putradi shunya paryantam akhilam anatma. Everything starting with putra up to shunya is anatma. Alright, so second is the yukti. and third is Anubhava. So he had given 3, so Siddhanta says I also will give 3. So Yukti was given, now Anubhava. Aham Brahmeti Vidvat Anubhava Prabalyacha. And because of the Prabalyam, the strength, powerfulness of the experience of or appreciation of a wise person. What is his experience or appreciation? Aham Brahma. I am Brahma. Naham dehaha na indriyani na ahankaraha aham Brahma. In this manner, Vidvat Anubhava Prabalyacha, because of the strength of or powerfulness or more powerfulness of the experience of or the appreciation of a wise person. So what Acharya wants to say by this is that you are quoting the experience that I am the body. Why? Because I have got the experience aham sthulaha, aham krushaha. So with aham there is a samanadikaranyam of sthula krusha. And sthula krusha are the body, therefore I am the body. That is your way of thinking. But the anubhava which you are quoting to establish the gross body as Atma, that anubhava is of an ignorant person. And based on this anubhava, he is deriving the conclusion that I am the body. We are not denying the experience. We don't say that that experience doesn't happen. Aham sthulaha anubhava happens. But the problem is not in the anubhava. Problem is in deriving the conclusion from anubhava. And who is deriving the conclusion? Ignorant person is deriving. Like somebody is saying, I am seeing it. I am seeing the sun rising. And therefore sun must be there. I am seeing the water there. Therefore water must be there. But it is the conclusion of a person who doesn't do pramana vichara. When we are seeing movie, things are there, we are appearing. And many people get carried away also. If somebody is beating somebody, this person will be shrunk, People will really, it happens. And they will say, oh, why it is doing? And they close their eyes also, sometimes. When they are watching, they go to watch movie and then there they close their eyes. Because they consider it to be real. So idea is that anubhava which you have quoted is of ignorant people. The anubhava and anubhava based conclusions are of ignorant people. Whereas wise person, what is his appreciation? I am Brahma. What type of Brahma? Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirad, Vyatirikta, Panchakosha, Atita. That aham am Brahma. So Vidvat Anubhava should be taken into consideration while arriving at the conclusion. Like even we also, when we want to take advice, whose advice will take? Whom we consider more mature, more objective. You will always ask that person. At least you will have value for asking that person who is supposed to be objective, who does not have subjectivity. Otherwise, he will be telling based on his own wrong conclusions. Therefore, Vidvat Anubhava Prabalyacha. And by using the word Prabalya, Vidvat Anubhava Prabalya, it is suggested that the experience quoted were having the Shaithilyam, weakness. Why weakness? Because not having the basis of Pramanam. So, Mula Pramana Shaithilyam was there. The weakness because of not having the connection with the main Pramanam. Pratyakshadi Pramanam are not analyzed properly and therefore they have got conclusions. Alright. Then, next one. So, again we have to connect with Vidvad Anubhava Prabalyacha Putradi Shunya Paryantam Akhilam Anatma Eva. Everything is nonsense. Then Tattat Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasanam Badhitatvat. And Tattat Shruti, that respective Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava Bhasa, the resemblance of Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava, respective resemblance of Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava, Badhitatva, they are negated. Negated by whom? Uttarottara Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Or Tatta Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava Bhasanam Ukta Hetu Bhihi Badhitatvat. Because there is a Prabala Shruti Virodha and there is a Yukti to show that the Putradi are Anitya, and also because of Vidvad Anubhava Prabalya, what is the conclusion? Tattat Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasanam Badhitatvat. So, respective Shruti, Yukti and Anubhava were presented, which were the resemblance of that, they are Badhita. Badhita means negated. Negated means what? Their content is not real. What the Shruti immediately seems to reveal is not the fact. What Yukti seems to reveal is not a fact. What Anubhava seems to reveal is not a fact. That is called Badhitatva. Abhava Nishchaya Badhaha. So Badha means this understanding that what is revealed by Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava is not really there. That is called Badha. And so Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava, Abhasa, Badhitatvad. Api, also because of that, Putradi Shunya Paryantam Akhilam Anatma Eva. So Api Shabda can be connected with the previous one. Since Purva Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa are dismissed by the Uttarottara Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa, therefore Badhita, and also because of these three reasons Badhita. What are the three reasons? Prabala Shruti Virodhat and Putradi Shunya Paryantasya Anityatvat Hetoho, and also Aham Brahmeti Vidvad Anubhava Prabalyacha. Because of these three reasons, the Shruti Yukti Anubhava Bhasa are Badhita, and therefore also Putradi Shunya Paryantam Akhilam Anatma Eva. Therefore also the Putradi Shunya Paryantam Akhilam means everything is Anatma Eva. Okay. So Badhitatvad Api is the Hetu, it becomes the Hetu for Putradi Shunya Paryantanam. And Badhitatvad Api, and Api Shabda is going back to the previous one, 133, whatever was presented. Alright. What is the Saram, Swamiji? So many things we saw. Saram is Saraha is there. That Putradi Shunya Paryantam, Putra, Stula Sharira, Indriya, Prana, Mana, etc. All of them are Anatma Eva. Ajnanam also is Anatma Eva. Why? I am aware of Ajnanam. Yadrishyam tad Anatma, that Ajnanam api Anatma Eva. And Ajnana Upahita Chaitanyam Upahitattvena Anatma Eva. Upahita Chaitanyam is not Anatma, but this Ajnana Upahitattvena is Anatma Eva. Alright. Now, he is giving this the further conclusion that what is the final understanding of a wise person, which is a right understanding. He gives in the next. Ataha tattadbhasakam Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Satya Swabhavam Pratyak Chaitanyam Eva Atmavastu iti Vedanta Vidvad Anubhavaha. Ataha, therefore means what? Chid Binnasya Putradehe Anatmatvat. Since everything Putradi, starting with Putradi, which is different from Chit, is Anatma. Chit Binnasya Putradehe Anatmatvat. So everything other than this Chaitanyam Putradi is Anatma. Therefore what? Tat-tat bhasakam. Tat-tat bhasakam means the illuminator of each one of them. Tat-tat refers to putradi here. Putra, Sharira, etc. So the illuminator, the knower, Sakshi of each one of them, Tat-tat putradi, is Atma Vastu. So I am not the Putra. I am the one who is the knower of the Putra, the Sakshi of the Putra, the illuminator of the Putra. Similarly, I am not the Sthula Sharira. I am the Sakshi of Sthula Sharira. Similarly, Indriyani I am not. I am the Sakshi of Indriya. I am not this Prana. I am the Sakshi of Prana. I am Sakshi of Manaha. I am Sakshi of Buddhi. I am Sakshi of Ajnanam. And I am Sakshi of any Upahita Padartha. Thus, Tat-tat Bhasakam Atma Vastu. Okay. Atma Vastu means what? Atma eva Vastu, Atma Vastu. Atma, which is reality. Okay. And what is that Atma Vastu? The reality which is the self. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Satya Swabhavam. Swabhavam means having the nature. What type of nature? Nitya Shuddha, ever pure. Nitya Buddha, ever aware, ever shining. And Nitya Mukta, ever free. Nitya Satya means what? Ever unnegatable. So that is the nature of Atma. I who am illuminator of the Putradi, Sthula Sharira, etc., am ever pure. Impurity belongs to the body, senses, mind. But I, the Sakshi, who am illumining all of them, am Nitya Shuddha. Similarly, Nitya Buddha. And Pujya Swami used to show that Alupta Druk, like Alupta Druk means what? One whose Druk is never, the Druk means eye also. So one whose eyes are never winking. Alupta Druk. One whose sight is never lost. Means one whose awareness doesn't go away, ever shining. That is the meaning of Nitya Buddha. But Swamiji, in Sushupti Avastha, there is no awareness. No, Sushupti Avastha also awareness is there. That is why you have got the Paramarsha. That's we have been telling every now and then. Whether you are sleeping or not, but we are telling. So, that in Sushupti also you are aware. But Swamiji, if I was aware in Sushupti, I would have heard you. Yeah, in Sushupti you don't hear, but you remain aware of ignorance. Okay. Nitya Shuddha, Nitya Buddha, Nitya Muktaha. This expression, no, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava, it is a very favorite expression of Bhashyakara. It is a very beautiful. If you want to contemplate upon your true nature, this one expression is good enough. You can say Nitya Muktaha, ever free I am. This is a very big, I feel that one of the, what is called, most assuring, reassuring statement of Vedanta. Praman Rupa Vedanta. What? I am ever free. So there is no anxiety. Oh, this person is studying so much, I am not able to study. So he will get moksha, I may not get. Moksha is not like a musical chair, that musical chair they call. Music chair or musical chair? So musical chair, what is musical chair? Andrea, you don't have musical chair? Understood. You have not that thing. It will be that this is a human nature, because everybody wants to compete. It really encourages competitive spirit. That before anybody sits, you should sit, because one person will be left out. You should not be that. Because if you are out, then you are out. So moksha is not like that, fortunately. That this fellow goes and he gets moksha, I will not get. I am ever free. Nitya Muktaha. Only thing that conviction has to come. And conviction comes when there is Shraddha in the Shastra, and also there is mind which is relatively free. relatively free mind alone can appreciate I am absolutely free. Okay, Nitya Muktaha. But even when you are rejecting your freedom, how can I be free? I am Baddha, I am bound. I am so much bound, Swamiji. More bound than anybody else. Even when you are saying that, factually you remain free. That's a very big thing. Even when I think myself to be bound, I am free. So, my being free does not depend upon even my knowledge. Owning up of freedom depends upon knowledge. But my being free does not depend upon Guru, does not depend upon knowledge, anything. I remember one in Rishikesh, one great Swamiji used to be there. Now he is no more. Paramahamsa is that Hansananda. So one person came and Swamiji explained that you are Chaitanya. So that person did not understand much. He said, yeah Swami, by your grace I will become. So he said, no, your being Chaitanyam does not depend upon anybody's grace. He was telling that, but I really like that statement. आपका चैतन्य होना किसी की कृपा पर अवलंबित नहीं है. What a nice thing, My being consciousness, which is ever free, does not depend upon any grace. I don't require. So I am not afraid that I have a fight with Guru and then Guru said, give my moksha back. That is not that. In Taittiriya it happens, no? That this Guru Vaishampayana said, okay, give my vidya back. So he had to vomit it and everybody took it. So freedom is not like that. That's a very good thing. So Nitya Mukta is one of my favorite statements. Aham Nitya Muktaha. Satya Swabhavaha. Means I am never negated. And just now we saw. What is negation? Abhava Nishchayaha. So Mama Abhava Nishchayaha Kadapi na Bhavati. I am not there. That never happens. Nobody, a sane person, this one who has got some psychological issue can say that also. Oh Swamiji, I thought I was not there. He can say. But normal people will never say, I am not there. So I am what? Satya Swabhava. I can never be negative. That Pratyak Chaitanyam, consciousness, which is Pratyak. Pratyak literally means innermost. But innermost, as we have seen, it is a little bit misleading. We are giving a location as it were. So Pratyaktvam Kim, one way of seeing Pratyaktvam is, I am available inside the mind, therefore I am called Pratyak. Antar Hridaye Buddhau Upalabdhatvat Pratyak. Since I am available to be appreciated as I am in the buddhi, therefore I am said to be Pratyak. Antaha, sharirasya antaha, hridayasya antaha, buddhau upalabhyamanatvat Pratyak. So I am Pratyak in the sense I am available inside the buddhi as I am. And another thing we have seen, Pratyak means what? When so-called Atma are dismissed as Anatma and you arrive at the Atma which can never be negated as Anatma, means you don't have to go further in your journey of discovery of the self. That is called Pratyekatma. So when you arrive at consciousness as Atma, then you don't have to go further. And therefore in the journey of the discovery of the self, Chaitanyam is the last destination. Therefore Chaitanyam is called Pratyak. Because when you start with the body, then Anyantaratma Pranamayaha, that you have to go inside cognitively. Then Anyantaratma Manomayaha, Anyantaratma Vijnanamaya, Anyantaratma Anandamayaha. And then we have to say Anyantaratma Chaitanyam, consciousness. After that, no more further going inside. And therefore, Atma is called Pratyak. If the Pratyak word is a little bit misleading, so we need to have sufficient clarity. And somebody did not want all this confusion, inside, outside. So he said Pratyak means Prati Ahankaradehe Viparitaya Anchate Prakashate iti Pratyak. Chhod do sab. So you leave everything, inside, outside, where inside. He said Pratyak means that which is shining as opposed to Ahankaradi. Ahankara is Jada, this is shining as Chetana. Ahankaradi is this Parichinna, this is Aparichinna. Shining when Jnanam comes, it shines. Otherwise also it is shining as Chetana, Praka, Drik, whereas Ahankara is Drishyam. And therefore it is Viparitataya, Prati Viparitataya Anchate Prakashateti Pratyak. So that which is shining as opposed shining in opposite manner compared to Ahankaradi is called Pratyak. And that Pratyak Chaitanyam, consciousness alone, is Atma Vastu. Is the reality which is the self. Vastu means kim? Vastu means kim? Vastu means Sada Vasati Asti iti Vastu. So that which is existing all the time, self-existent, of the nature of existence, unnegatable, is called Vastu. And therefore what? Pratyak Chaitanyam eva Vastu. Atma Vastu. Pratyak Chaitanyam alone is the reality called the self. Alright. Iti, in this manner, Vedanta Vidvad Anubhavaha. So Vedanta Vidvad Anubhava, simple meaning is, this is the Anubhava. And we have seen Anubhava means what? Pratibandhaka Rahita Aparoksha Jnanam is called Anubhava. Immediate knowledge of Brahman as Atma without any obstacle is called Anubhava. Anubhava of whom? Vidvat, a wise person. A wise person means one who is knowing what? Vedanta. Vedanta Vidvad Anubhava. It is the intimate, obstacle-free appreciation of the one who is knowing Vedanta. So Vedantam Vetti iti Vedanta Vidwan Tasya Anubhavaha. Or Vedanta Anubhavaha and Vidvad Anubhava. That also we can do. Vedanta Anubhava means it is the Nishchaya of Vedanta. What? Pratyak Chaitanyam eva Atma Vastu. It is a Vedanta Anubhava, means it is the conclusion, it is the knowledge of Vedanta, means knowledge derived from Pramana Rupa Vedanta. And Vidvad Anubhava. So Vedantaha cha Vidvancha Vedanta Vidvamsau Tayoho Anubhava. That way also it can be done. Alright, but Vedantam Vetti iti Vedanta Vidvan Tasya Anubhava. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What matters is this is right understanding. Vidvan Anubhava means this is right understanding. What? That Pratyak Chaitanyam, consciousness is the Atma Vastu, the reality called the self. Evam, in this manner, Adhyaropaha. In this manner, Adhyaropa has been talked about. Apavad also incidentally talked about. But main topic was Adhyaropa. And this is the conclusion of not only the second chapter, or third chapter. It is the conclusion of the second chapter also. So, evam, in this manner, Samanyena Visheshataha Adhyaropaha. In this panel, this Samanyena Anubhava, Adhyaropa, the superimposition in general and superimposition specific. The specific and general superimposition is concluded. Evam Adhyaropaha. Evam Adhyaropa Nirupitaha. In this manner, Adhyaropa is presented. Alright. So with this, 3 chapters are concluded. So almost we are halfway. Paragraph wise we are more than halfway. But topic wise, I think 6 chapters are there, no? 6. So 3 completed. Good. So our speed is okay. Then, Sabhi, you only attend. Self-praise. Anyway. So, 3 chapters what we have seen. First chapter, Anubandha. Second chapter, Samanyena Adhyaropaha, the superimposition on Tat Padartha of Agdanadi, Agdana, Sukshma Prapancha and Sula Prapancha. And in the third chapter, there was discussion on superimposition of different ideas on the self and their negation. That is the content of the 3 chapters we have seen so far. Now the 4th chapter is Apavada. So Apavada means negation is presented. Apavado nama Rajju vivartasya sarpasya Rajju matratvavat Vastu vivartasya Avastunaha Agdana dehe Prapanchasya Vastu matratvam. Apavada. Apavada means negation. Why Apavada came here? Because the Adhyaropa and Apavada, both of them are the part of communication on reality. Adhyaropa Apavada Nyayena Guruhu Upadishati. So Guru is teaching by the method of superimposition and negation, or negation of superimposition, both ways. Okay, before I proceed, I wanted to clarify that I had told 128. So Bauddhaha tu kartu abhave karnasya shakti abhavat. So Shakti Abhavat I had taken in the sense of prana, but here Kartuhu Abhave Karanasya Shakti Abhavat, that Karana refers to Antakarana, Mana Rupa Antakarana. Shakti has got no connotation of prana, which I had mentioned wrongly. So Karanasya Shakti Abhavat means Antakarana, Mana Rupa Antakarana cannot operate without the Karta, and therefore Karta must be Atma. So here Shakti, Karanasya Shakti Abhavat is referring to the absence of the operation or absence of the power of operation on the part of Mana. So mind cannot have the power of operation without Karta being there, and therefore mind is not Atma, the Buddhi is Atma. So here Shakti refers to only the absence of the capacity of the mind to operate. Okay. Now Adhyaropa Apavada is the Nyaya, and Adhyaropa has been presented. And Adhyaropa is not something we have to do. Adhyaropa is already there. I don't have to do Adhyaropa of the Ajnanam on Atma, Sukshma Prapancha on Atma, Sthula Prapancha on Atma. It is already there. Only thing I have to understand Adhyaropa as Adhyaropa. That is the teaching. Ajnanam is already there superimposed. I have to understand that Ajnanam is superimposition. And it is superimposition will become clear when it is negated. But while giving the description is in the form of Adhyaropaha. So very category in which Ajnanam is put itself communicates that Ajnanam is really not there, because Ajnanam is what? Adhyaropaha. Alright. So far Adhyaropa is presented. And what was the Adhyaropa? Vastuni avastvaropaha Adhyaropaha. Superimposition of unreal on real or appearance of unreal on real is called adhyaropa. Superimposition or appearance of unreal on unreal on real. Superimposition of unreal on real, that is called adhyaropa. Example was given that superimposition of snake on the rope, that is called adhyaropa of the sarpaha, snake. Now apavada is what? Apavada is, let us see in the Drishtanta, seeing that the snake is nothing but the rope. Seeing that the snake is really not there, what is there is the rope alone. That is called apavada of the sarpa. So seeing that sarpaha nasti, rajjuhu eva asti. Snake is not there, rope alone is there. That is called the negation of the sarpaha. And what is that sarpa? That real sarpa. Rajju vivartasya. The sarpa which is the vivarta, which is the apparent form or appearance of the rope. Sarpasya rajju matratva. The snake remaining as or understanding as nothing but the rope is called apavada. And what type of sarpa? Rajju vivarta, which is the appearance of the rope. So the snake, which is the appearance of the rope, is understood to be only the rope, is called the negation of the snake, not the rope. Seeing this snake, which is the appearance of rope, as only the rope, is called the negation of the snake. So that is here said, Rajju vivartasya sarpasya, of the snake which is vivarta. Vivarta means appearance of what? Rajju, the rope. The snake which is just an appearance or apparent form of the rope, tasya rajju matratvam, being, remaining as, and it is cognitive, therefore understanding as the rope alone. Sarpa, which is an appearance of the rope, is understood to be the rope alone, nothing but the rope, is called the negation of the snake. Correct. Snake, which is the appearance of the rope, is understood to be the rope alone, is called the negation of the snake. Not the negation of the rope, negation of the rope. It is snake. Alright. Similarly, Vastu vivartasya avastunaha ajnanadehe prapanchasya. Avastu, unreal. What is unreal? Prapancha, the world. The world which is in the form of ajnanadi. Ajnanadehe prapanchasya. The world which is in the form of ignorance, etc., which is avastu, unreal. And how it is unreal? Vastu vivarta. It is just an appearance of the reality. So, prapancha, the world in the form of ignorance, etc., which is unreal, which is the just appearance of the reality, of that prapancha, vastu matratvam, remaining as the reality alone. So, unreal remaining as the real alone is called negation. Unreal, ignorance, etc., remaining as, tva means remaining, as vastu matram, only as reality. Unreal remaining only as reality is called apavada. And since it is cognitive, we can say unreal being understood as reality alone is called apavada. Means what? Unreal world is not there. What is there is real Brahma. Understanding this is called apavada. So understanding adhyaropita as adhishthanam is called apavada. Understanding adhyaropita superimposed as adhishthanam is called apavada. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.